Good morning, students. Let us start with the next paragraph comprehension. The questions are already with you. I am going to read the paragraph for you. Listen carefully and find out answers. When we think about jobs, we usually imagine the more familiar jobs such as being a teacher, doctor, or chef. But have you ever imagined doing a more unusual job? For instance, have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a wildlife photographer or videographer? Thanks to these people, we are able to enjoy wonderful scenes on our televisions of wild animals in their natural surroundings as they go about their daily lives. You have probably speculated just how these scenes were recorded. To be capable of doing this, wildlife photographers and film crews have to have patience. Some photographers and videographers may have to spend vast amounts of time just waiting to find the animal. There is an extreme example of a cameraman waiting for months before he captures the snow leopard he was trying to film in the Himalayas. It might take 1 year to get 30 minutes of high quality film that is worth watching. Clearly, these filmmakers must also have a sense of adventure. They might be required to go to remote parts of the world and spend without seeing their family or friends. Needless to say, this is not a 9-to-5 job either. Film crews ought to be very adaptable with their hours of work, as most of the best shots are normally very early in the morning or as the sun sets. They also have to capture what wildlife is doing at night. What is more, working outside all the time means it might be necessary to endure all kinds of weather, including severe heat, sub-zero temperatures, or monsoon rains. Lastly, there is always a real risk. The filmmaker could get injured by one of the animals they are trying to film or other creatures nearby. Have you ever considered doing such a job? Most wildlife photographers and videographers are freelance. Obviously, you would need to make a considerable investment in photographic equipment, as better quality photos and films require expensive cameras with specialist features and lenses. This equipment is not only expensive but difficult to carry. Easy to use, inexpensive equipment can result in photographs and films of lower quality, which are more difficult to sell or publish. Further expenses might include having to pay for access to private lands or parks to record certain animals. There are other costs like travel and accommodation to consider as well if you are an independent photographer or videographer. However, despite these drawbacks, these are professions that many people would dream of doing. It might be especially exciting if you are interested in nature. You would be able to closely observe how animals survive whilst living in wild forests or other types of territory. You might be able to catch really precious moments that perhaps have not been seen on films before. This would help you to become professionally recognized and perhaps be well paid for it. To get paid well for doing something you love must bring huge job satisfaction.